Both teams ready to get started. Louisville in the white kits, Miami in the black kits. We are underway here at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. Nick Zanetti, Kayla Dickerman, ready to bring you this set of 90 minutes. Louisville finds possession early. Miami looking to get the ball out. Liza Sudam applying early pressure. Caroline Hood had it. Sent into the midfield. Miami trying to break out. Bree Severns was working on the ball there. Sudam has it. Picked up by A.G. Gibson, who had an assist in the match against Clemson. It was Gibson and Sudam setting up Amelia Swinarski for the one and only game-winning goal, willing Louisville to their second ACC victory over Clemson. Grace Maddox there for the throw-in for the Cardinals. So elite at these throw-ins, Kayla. You've talked about it so much.
You can see the rest of the players hanging around the 18. She can obviously throw a short ball like that to Carson Cherry, who's a very formidable person to receive the ball, but she's got a long throw that can be really dangerous.
Ball sent into the box. Breddick trying to get a hold of it. She does so, but took a second to secure things. You mentioned Maddox good at going short or going long. She creates so many good opportunities off those throw-ins.
A throw-in can be dangerous when you're in that attacking third, especially if you have a long throw-in. It's not super common to have players be able to throw it all the way into the box. So having Maddox be in that situation is really helpful to provide different alternatives for Louisville in that attack.
In between the goal posts tonight for Louisville, keeper Erin Floyd, who has been every bit of sound this season. Louisville, this Louisville team trusts her so much, and they've done a really good job of keeping the pressure off of Floyd. They've been limiting shots, and especially shots on goal for that matter. So Floyd recorded 6 clean sheets in the last 6 matches here at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. So we'll see if Louisville can help out their keeper and keep goals out of the net tonight.
And that's an impressive stat, not only to be not having to save that often, but to be in a situation where your team is winning that many games in a row. It allows you to be a little bit more of a communicator rather than maybe having to do all of the game winning saves.
You see the head coach there for Miami, Ken Monsieur. A record of 11-11-5 in his second season with the Hurricanes. In the midst of a turnaround last season, Miami didn't see the ACC tournament, didn't see the NCAA tournament. So you know that he's working with his staff tirelessly in the midst of a good season, as we mentioned in the open of this broadcast. So we'll see if Miami can turn it around this season. And on the side of Louisville, you have head coach Karen Ferguson-Days, who has a record of 220-251 in her 26th season. Kayla, she has seen the uprising of this program. She has turned it around, and she has led them to a very impressive record so far this season.
And it's interesting to see both of these coaches be at 2 different sides of their career. In the Hurricane coaching staff all being relatively new, we just talked about it, and then obviously the Louisville staff having many more years on them. It's interesting to see how that will play out, both in the style of play and also sometimes the players' trust in the coaches, what they're asking of them to do.
Here comes the ever so dangerous Amelia Swinarski. Talked about how she hasn't recorded an assist in a while. See if she can find one tonight. It was Emersen Jennings looking for an opportunity. Miami keeps it away. And a ball sent back now for Cherry. She finds Grace Maddox. Takes her time. Going long. Miami able to keep it away. Betsy Huckabee finds Lizzie Sexton. Good move by Sexton, trying to create space. Gets it back now to Huckabee. A.G. Gibson. This is Maddox. Louisville working up along the side, trying to enter. Sudam can't handle it. Sent away by Caroline Hood. Junior Ford out of Needham, Massachusetts.
And this is good possession by the Cardinals, being able to swing it from one side to the other. The final pass might not necessarily be on yet, but having possession in the opponent's defensive half even is a really good sign to be able to keep possession and keep getting crosses and shots off.
Sexton for the throw-in. Louisville's going to look to score early in this one, Kayla. Obviously, they want to score as early as possible and get their opponent on the ropes, but Miami this season 6-0-1 when scoring first. So these first few minutes are going to be crucial. We know Louisville likes to find the back of the net early, and when Miami does that, they have been very victorious this season. So you wonder what you're going to expect to see here in these first 10 to 15 minutes.
And we know where both of these players are, or both of these teams are in the ACC. Louisville currently ranked 6th or 5th, and the Hurricanes ranked 16th. And so being in this position where the Hurricanes know they can score early and create, be in the winning category and stop the other team from winning if you have the goal, that gives you this mentality of starting early, trying to get a goal quick.
You see the Miami sideline there, the coaching staff, we talked about it. All in their second season except for Juan Seidel at the bottom, assistant coach in his first season. So a young coaching staff, if you will, in terms of tenure, still meshing, one could assume. Trying to figure out this team, trying to get them into the ACC tournament.
And with the transfer portal, the whole environment of college sports has changed, but that allows you to kind of curate a team in your early stages of being the head coach. So over 10 players having transferred in to Miami for this roster, and that's a positive sign when you're a coaching staff, that you can encourage players, motivate players to come in and play for you, but hopefully as they continue on in their careers, they can continue to get players that want to stay for 4 years, like you see with the senior class right now for the University of Louisville.
Hey, you talked about that a couple of matches ago, this Louisville team, the chemistry that they've developed over the years, staying together in the ever-changing landscape of college sports. It's hard to maybe keep a team together for so long, but when you can, that chemistry is just... it is immeasurable. You cannot measure the importance of having a team that is comfortable with each other.
And I think Louisville is certainly showing their maturity and their connectivity being on this team with a majority of their senior class having been together all 4 years and having stayed at the University of Louisville. You don't see that often anymore, and having them be together really shows why the success that they're having is just obvious.
Morella sends it deep into the Louisville end. Snyder handling, gets it up for Lizzie Sexton, who's working along the side into the midfield, starting to develop a run, maybe looking for an option. Good defense there from Miami, shutting down any type of attack. It was Sierra Alarcón, who we highlighted in the open. She's here to make an impact, and she's doing it on both sides of the ball.
Alarcón and Nicholson, O'Mahony in that situation, all getting behind the ball and being ready to defend. That's going to be really important when Louisville brings more opponents or more players forward, that the Hurricanes have enough players behind the ball to really stop these 1v1s.
Hood. Alarcón. Got it from Maxwell, and Maxwell sends it over. Ball sent up into the midfield. Sexton gets a foot on it. A.G. Gibson sends it back for her trusted captain and Carson Cherry, who gets it back for her trusted keeper and Aaron Floyd. Misplaced pass, a giveaway. Now Miami takes over on possession. Maxwell gets it up for Hood. Alarcón 10 minutes gone here in the first half at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. Kayla, what have you seen from two teams that thrive off of scoring early?
It's interesting because it almost looks as if Miami's playing a 3-3-4 even, or a 3-4-3. They're putting a lot of attackers up high and maybe hoping for that long ball into the attack. It's not necessarily that it hasn't worked out yet. It's just what happens is that's 1v2, and instead they need to get all of those players making that long ball run. But it's interesting just because that means that the Hurricanes believe they don't need to have too many defenders back, and they're treating Louisville as if 3v2 in the attack, or for them as defenders, is enough.
Bredick boots it away. Snyder gets a foot on it. Maxwell there to retrieve it for the Hurricanes. See if she elects to go forward. She does. Huckabee handles, working through the midfield. Louisville trying to develop an attack. Huckabee, good passing here from Louisville. A.G. Gibson has to get to it, but does so, keeps it with her team. Lizzie Sexton now. Finds Cherry. Cherry goes in for Huckabee. Huckabee, a one-touch pass out to Grace Maddox. Louisville trying to develop an opportunity. They have scraped the surface of a few opportunities. Lizzie Sexton now. Looks like she had her sights on the goal, but retreats. Wise decision there from Sexton, not trying to force anything, letting the play develop as it should.
And they're doing well to possess the ball. The only question now is, can they still possess and move it quickly? If they slow the ball down too much, then it's going to be easy for Miami to sit there and watch the ball move rather than having to make the moves themselves. So a player like Swinarski doing a turn and taking an attack there, those are things that the Hurricanes are going to respond to rather than slow passes.
Swinarski looking for a ball into the box, but Taylor Maxwell for Miami taking exception, shutting it down. As you saw, Swinarski had her sights on the 6 yards. Sudam and Geigley were down there.
Good defense by Maxwell to just get it out of bounds. Sometimes the lunge is all you need to do in order to get it away. Although Louisville is dangerous on corners, so it'll be interesting to see what they elect to do and what can happen.
And Louisville has found success on corners this season. Converted on a good amount of corners. We'll see if they can find it here. Huckabee sends it in, looking back post maybe. Carson Cherry was down there. Her habitat on corners. Not afraid to go up and head it into the net.
And you can tell the way that they just played that. What Carson Cherry would have been 1v1 just against the opponent, man marking her, and they're looking to try and get her that opportunity where she doesn't have to be against 2 or 3 other opponents. She can just be right there to head it on. So almost an opportunity, not quite, maybe a little bit lower on that corner kick, and something could have happened.
Maddox, ball sent in, a whiff from Miami's Bree Severns as she tried to clear, but Miami nonetheless gets it out. And Cherry exhibits all the tendencies of a captain, so fearless, physically, mentally, not afraid of contact, not afraid of anybody, just doing everything in her power to will her team to victories.
And Cherry is so composed both on and off the ball. Sometimes there's captains that are really loud and can change the game just with their voice. But then other times there's captains that the acting is what makes you want to follow them. And Cherry's got arguably both, but more so just her personality and the fact that she does all of the work makes it really easy for this Louisville team to want to follow her and want to keep doing the hard work because she's doing it as well.
Leading by example, as a good leader does. Miami gets it back for Bredick. Jennings for Louisville. You see her applying that high pressure. We've seen her doing that so much this season. It has worked in a lot of instances. When Louisville's able to apply that high pressure, they're able to kind of rattle the cage of their opponent. We'll see if they can do that here tonight against Miami.
That's certainly one of Louisville's personality traits is that high pressure. Bredick seems to have no issue with it when it comes to kicking the ball long, though. It will be interesting as the Hurricanes continue to get more used to this play right now, how they can get Bredick's long balls to translate into received passes in the attack and then maybe some sort of creation in Louisville's defensive half. We haven't seen them much there.
Turning long balls into transition and winning in transition. Key aspect for any team that wants to be victorious. Sexton going to work against 2 Miami defenders and handles the pressure well. Snyder gets it back to Floyd. Floyd finds Carson Cherry. Grace Maddox now up along the side of the pitch. Finds Liza Sudam. Excellent move by Mackenzie Gigley. So elite with the ball on her foot in one-on-one situations. Grace Maddox sending a ball through. Miami gets it out.
That's a really difficult cross, keeping it on the ground, almost like a cutback ball. It's difficult for defenders because maybe they're more prepared for the lofted cross, but it's an advantage to have the ball on the ground when you're receiving it as the attacker, because then you just have to pass it in the net in a perfect world.
A high lofting ball thrown in by Grace Maddox. This is Sexton. Ball sent in, deflected away by Miami. A.G. Gibson finds Cherry once again, the facilitator, if you will, for this Louisville offense. Gets it into Liza Sudam. Little trickery there from Louisville. Emersen Jennings with a beautiful shot into the back of the net, and Louisville finds the 1-0 advantage with over 15 minutes gone in the first half. Pristine passing, a pristine finish. Emersen Jennings getting it done.
That came from patience in possession. They moved the ball around, found Grace Maddox with a dummy through by Gigley. Grace Maddox did what we were just complimenting her on, a low-driven ball, cut back, and just then, like we said, an easier finish for Jennings to get in. Not super easy. That's still difficult to place it past Bredick, but a great finish nonetheless.
Sam Morella for Miami with an excellent attempt to slide and stop that ball from going through, but nonetheless, Emersen Jennings finds her 4th of the season in the 17th minute. An excellent pass, phenomenal touch, not putting too much on it, understanding that she can just tap it with her foot. And Bredick, not much more you can do there.
And Jennings is a senior, you can tell. We talked about the maturity of the senior class within the Cardinals rank, and Jennings showed that with that placement. She didn't run over it. She didn't lean her body back too much to get it in the air. She did exactly what was needed to do to just put it in the net and give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead.
So that's the first goal of the match. So Miami not scoring first tonight. You know the stat, Miami 6-0-1 when they score first. Louisville maybe looking for the 2-0 advantage. Swinarski trying to create space. Can't find the pass. But as we were saying, Louisville now ahead 1-0. They thrive after scoring early. And there's something to be said about this Louisville team and the way that they string together momentum. When they go up 1-0, 2-0, maybe even 3-0, they'll start playing like they're the team that is down by 2 or 3 goals. But it's that kind of mentality and intensity that has led them to a 9-2 record so far this season, Kayla.
And that's what you want when you're on the team that's scoring the goals. You don't want to stop just because you have a handful. You want to keep going, keep your foot on the gas. And there's a possibility that we'll see that tonight. I think that the Hurricanes are definitely going to create some chances and opportunities of their own. It's just a matter of getting possession a little bit more often rather than they're feeling the pressure of the Cardinals and they're just trying to clear it, which makes sense. You want to get it out of danger. But if you clear it to no teammate, then the Cardinals get the ball back in at half line or even closer. So the idea now is to try and get it and then connect that next pass.
Gigley trying to disrupt Alarcon. Rolls out of bounds. It'll stay with the Hurricanes. We talked about how, as ACC play approached, it was going to get a little bit more difficult for this Louisville squad. A 2-1-0 record in ACC play. Up 1-0 here again tonight. Lots of time left in this match, but Louisville doing everything they need to do to hang around in the gauntlet that is the ACC. Swinarski working just outside the 18-yard box, looking for Gibson. A tough pass, and here come the Hurricanes in transition. trying to get something going themselves.
Really smart play by Mellenhorst there, just to take the space and then realize she doesn't have anyone else going with her. She turns around, keeps possession, and now Miami has possession for a handful of passes.
This Miami team, we talked about the ideal start. It's been an impressive season. Miami has recorded its most wins in a single season since 2018 with 6. A win tonight would give them their 7th win, which would be the most since the 2016 season. So a lot to play for here tonight for the Hurricanes. They're looking for their first ACC win. They're looking to hand Louisville their first loss at home. And they want to make history out of this season that has started so well.
And now you can see that they're getting a little bit more comfortable in Louisville's defensive half, keeping the ball, keeping possession. This is going to be where you can create dangerous attacks if you can keep the ball here.
And you saw there on that stat pop, courtesy of our phenomenal crew, Miami's also trying to win their very first match in Louisville, an 0-4-0 record when playing the Cardinals at home. And it's going to be a tough task to find it tonight, Kayla.
As the saying goes, for the Cardinals, we win at Lynn, is what they like to say. So certainly going to be a difficult scenario, especially now being down 1-0. But already you can see glimpses of what Miami can do when they have the ball in the attack.
And over the past 3 seasons at home, the Cardinals are 18-4-7. So win at Lynn is correct, Kayla. They do exactly that. Lizzie Sexton ready for the throw-in. Looking for Liza Sudam. Hurricanes come up with a takeaway. Good move by Mellenhorst. Up into the midfield, and there's another long ball that you were talking about, Kayla. Miami doing the right thing, getting the ball away from Louisville when they could create an offensive attack, but the long ball ends up in the possession of the Cardinals, and they're able to set something up once again.
And it looks like Louisville's pressure is paying off. Mellenhorst had a great move to keep the ball and pass it to Alarcon, but Alarcon didn't really have anyone and was getting pressured by multiple Louisville players. So the best option in that case was to clear it long, at least give Louisville the ball back in their defensive half. But the next step is to try and pass out of that. How can they keep the ball, move it, switch it maybe to the other side of the field, and then move the ball forward where they are still in possession rather than just moving it forward because they have to clear.
It's Betsy Huckabee now. Up along the side, Grace Maddox finds Emersen Jennings, responsible for the 1 goal up on the board. Found it in the 17th minute. Louisville looking for another. Miami looking to equalize. Sexton going in deep, looking for Sudam, who hits the ground, and Bredick will pick it up.
Looks like Jessica Kay might have gotten the worst of that. Maybe a step on the foot.
Luckily, both players all right, staying in the match. Just over 20 minutes gone here in Louisville as we near the last 20 minutes of the first half. Emersen Jennings, as we just mentioned, the lone goal scorer. Liza Sudam trying to go to work against Crosby Nicholson. Louisville fighting for possession. Gagley looking for it. Miami comes up with it.
Good work by O'Mahony to keep that 2 players on her. Was able to make a move out and give the Hurricanes possession.
Mellenhorst working against Huckabee and Gibson. Miami working along the side. You see Kay pointing back to the midfield, telling her teammate, hey, let's get it back to the midfield. Let's slow it down. Let's set something up. Morella going long, looking. Ball will roll out of bounds and back to the Cardinals.
And you could see on that possession, Miami's playing with 3 defenders. Nicholson's playing a little bit lower as that center mid, but when they do have the attack going, those 3 defenders are going to be are going to be necessary in order to create the attack within the midfield and going wide. Rather than maybe playing it big, they could look to play Nicholson, who was close to them, in order to try and break out.
A little contact there. Miami stays with it. Potential entry. Bodies hitting the ground. Both teams, a shot that sails high. Sarah Greiner, junior midfielder out of Brazelton, Georgia. Got underneath that one a little bit, sailed it high. Floyd set to boot it away. Looking for Maddox. Miami comes up with it instead. This is Alarcon. Looking for a potential ball sent up. Louisville takes exception. Alarcon gets it back now, and now it's Maxwell. Maxwell found Kay. Kay finds Morella, and now back for Kay. Liza Sudam gets a foot on it, but Miami stays with it. Nicholson. Greiner. Miami moving the ball well, avoiding the defense of Louisville. We talked about the importance of time of possession. Miami trying to gather some time of possession themselves. It's important to be able to keep possession and let plays develop. You saw Louisville doing it earlier in this half. Great ball movement, great possession time. It ended up in a goal.
And the difference here is Miami's keeping possession still in their defensive half. Louisville did well when they were in the attack to bring it up on Miami's defensive half. So next step for Miami now, we saw they could string passes together and they could keep possession. Next step is to break the line of pressure that's coming from Emersen, Jennings, and Liza Sudam, that first line of players that are trying to attack them, and then start to possess in Louisville's defensive half more so than their own.
Sexton gathers. Defenders flock to her. She's unable to maintain possession. Rolls out of bounds. Hadley Snyder gets it in for Sexton, as you see there on your screen, going to work against Alarcon.
And this is a good example. You can see Sexton as the wide back, already in the attack, hanging around the 18 right now. Even before then, Snyder and Cherry were very much in Miami's defensive half. So the alternative side of that is if Miami can do the same, they're going to have way more chances to create dangerous attacks against Louisville.
It's a corner kick for the Cardinals. 2 for Louisville. None yet for Miami. Betsy Huckabee ready to send it away for the Cardinals. You see players ready in the box. Miami gets it away. Millie Swinarski comes up with it. Good play there. Alarcon getting it out. Not letting Louisville develop anything. They do stay with possession. Swinarski will toss it over for Maddox. Maddox, maybe the best on this team when it comes to the throw-ins. We've seen her do some crazy things throwing the ball in. She can get it far, Kayla.
Yeah, and I'm jealous. It's impressive.
Ball sent in. Sudam with a potential header. Bredick came out. Wasn't able to get on it. But Sudam sailed it high. Off the header attempt. Right idea. Wasn't able to convert. Great opportunity nonetheless for Louisville on a beautiful ball sent in deep.
And that's the type of aerial balls that as a defender you want to be able to play. Lofted, but not too lofted that it's not going to create anything. Not too driven that Sudam couldn't get a header on it. Perfectly weighted, perfectly placed, and that just shows the versatility of Louisville.
Emersen Jennings, a well-earned break on the sideline after scoring the 1 goal in this one. Liza Sudam comes off. Betsy Huckabee comes in. Nicole Jadoin enters the game, as does Kiley Peat. And Corinna Peat, the Peat sisters now on the pitch for Louisville, comes in for Sudam. And Ali Serlinga enters the match for Ava O'Mahony, excuse me. Floyd gets it started. Just under 30 minutes gone here in the first half. Louisville still leads it 1-0. Peat working up along the sideline, trying to keep it in bounds, finds Jadoin, but Jadoin unable to maintain. It'll go back to Miami. So Kayla, with just about 30 minutes gone here in the first half, you talked about Miami, you know, getting their clear balls and going long and trying to keep it away from Louisville. Inevitably, it does end up in the possession of Louisville. So what is Miami going to have to do with 15 minutes left here in the first half? What kind of adjustments are you going to have to see out of Miami if they want to equalize this one?
It does seem that the defenders, when they have the ball, it doesn't necessarily look as though they have a lot of wide options. Even you can tell right now the widest player is Sierra Alarcón, and she's over halfway on the other side of the pitch, which, granted, you know, they're attacking and they want numbers up on that side. I get it. But if they win the ball in possession and they want to move forward, they're going to need to find better outlets than just clearing it long. And I think that's going to be the wide areas for them.
Sherry was able to win the foot race to the ball, got it back to Floyd. Floyd booted it away, and now it ends up with Miami. Morella gets it back for Bredick. Back up for Morella. Kay. Defended by Jadoin. Very tough defender for this Louisville team. Gibson finds the takeaway. Now it's Kiley Peat. An opportunity maybe for Louisville. Nicole Jadoin has it. Ball sent into the box. Looking for Geigley and Swinarski are both there. Unable to convert is Louisville. Alarcón is there to chase after it. She gets it away. Kiley Peat came sliding in, trying to make something happen. The intensity ramping up a little bit here as we near the final 14 minutes of this first half. A shot looking net. Louisville starting to pour it on. Jadoin's after it. Kay for Miami trying to get there. A lot going on, Kayla.
And Maddox's shot right there. We've seen her take really good crosses on the ground and with power. So I'm not surprised that when she's outside the 18, she wants to do the same thing. It'll be interesting to see as Bredick's in there and if the sub comes in for Olafsson, how they're going to manage that in case there's a chance that it doesn't get blocked.
Snyder has it now. Looking for Sexton. Navigating through the Miami defense, finds Swinarski. They flock to Swinarski, see how she gets out of this one if she can. Stays with it, still fighting for it. 3 defenders on her. Miami trying to clear. Kiley Peat stays with it. Good job by Louisville here to maintain possession. Miami has had a couple of opportunities for takeaways. Another one right there. A shot gets blocked. That was off the foot of Jadoin. Thinking goal. Louisville wants to take a 2-0 lead into the half, Kayla.
Good blocks by Miami there. Once again, on that wing side, Jadoin trying to hit it low and strong, and Miami was ready for it.
This is Jadoin. Cross, looking for Swinarski. Tough angle there. Bredick may have had to make a save, but it bounces long, and trouble is avoided. And you see here, Jadoin was looking a little bit long. Maybe looking back post, Swinarski just a little bit late to that one. But it's those opportunities on those crosses that Louisville's going to have to take advantage of and find some insurance here.
And volume is an advantage too, right? If Louisville is able to hit 6 or 8 of those types of crosses, the likelihood of one of them going in is way higher than if Miami can't hit one. So it's good for the Cardinals in the sense that they get the chance or multiple chances in order to try different types of crosses in this scenario.
In the match now for the Hurricanes, Maura Flynn comes in for Caroline Hood. And Noelle Simmons enters the match for Bree Severns. A couple of fresh legs in now for the Hurricanes as they look to find the equalizer Good move there by Mellenhorst, trying to shake the defense, but Louisville finds it. Sexton, ball bouncing. It will go out of bounds. We got a really good matchup here between Swinarski and Alarcon. They have been fighting tooth and nail tonight, trying to make stuff happen for both of their teams. And when they meet one-on-one, it's excellent. You can see them both right there, laser focused on the throw-in, every aspect of this match.
And not just Alarcon and Swinarski in that case. For Miami, Mellenhorst has done really well to be creative and technical in the attack. Unfortunately, the passes are still just going backwards rather than maybe creating that next chance forward. But it just goes to show that this team still has a couple of players and a couple of ideas up their sleeve for something creative.
We'll see what either team can cook up here with 10.5 minutes left in the first half. It's a throw-in for Miami. Nixonity, Kayla Dickerman here with you at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. Glad to have you along with us for this one. It was Emersen Jennings in the 17th minute who found the back of the net off of an excellent pass. Assist from Liza Sudam and Grace Maddox. Snyder. This is Sexton. Sexton with a good move. As you see there, Emersen Jennings, 17th minute, found her 4th goal of the season. She has been coming into her own, finding her rhythm, finding her identity as what we have called her a couple of times, a pest for the other teams. And she loves to press high, but also on the offensive side, she loves to find the back of the net.
And it's exciting for the Louisville Cardinals to have someone like Jennings scoring goals and creating opportunities in the attack. And it's not just her. They are lucky in this season to be able to look to a couple of players, talented players that are able to score and assist. And it's almost like a jockeying for those final points. Swinarski right now leads the team in goals, assists, and points. But there's other players that are knocking on the door or are wanting that.
And you think of Mackenzie Kiley, who has found the back of the net a good amount of times this season. Miami looking for something, but who other than Carson Cherry, who calmly boots it back to her keeper and erases that momentum for the Hurricanes.
Great recovery run by Cherry there to stop the pass from Simmons to Flynn. This is a little bit of a different attack there. The Hurricanes had a couple of players going with both Simmons and Flynn, which made it more of a 2v2. And Carson Cherry had to sprint back because it was going to be a dangerous attack. So something to think about for Louisville as the Hurricanes keep possession.
Up near the midfield now, Louisville looking for possession. They come up with it. A.G. Gibson finds Corinna Peat, who may be thinking shot. Miami defending very well. Lizzie Sexton with a good turn, trying to create space. Pass sent in, but Louisville unable to get a shot away. And now Miami in transition. They have to win these transition battles. It is crucial for them to set up their offense.
And just then, the idea was right again by Mellenhorst. She took the ball, dribbled forward, didn't necessarily see that attacking pass, so was able to keep it, pass it back. But Maxwell looking forward and trying to play that long ball, ends up playing it out of bounds.
Off comes Kiley. She will get a rest. On now for the Cardinals, number 20, Fina Davey. And sophomore Brooklyn Lee now in the match for the Cardinals. Off comes Grace Maddox. Had an assist earlier in this one on the Emersen Jennings goal. Miami, a ball sent up through. Louisville defenders flock to it. A couple of bodies hit the deck. A player down for Miami. Aaron Floyd slows it down as she recognizes the player down for Miami. Maura Flynn tending to her teammate. Noelle Simmons, freshman out of Boynton Beach, Florida, 5'5". Part of this young Miami team. We talked about the youth of this team, the newcomers, the freshmen, the coaching staff, trying to figure out their team, trying to learn things as they go. And given all those circumstances, a very impressive season.
And with both in that attack, both Flynn and Simmons being the underclassmen, being able to look at the future in the Hurricanes program with just those two, that was a positive attack that almost became dangerous for if Simmons was able to take a touch, because multiple Louisville players had to swarm her in order to win the ball back. So certainly something that the Hurricanes can be proud of in that attack.
You see the contact there, the physicality. Very encouraging sight there to see Simmons walking off under her own power. We hope she's all right. She'll get a chance to rest now on the bench, and halftime approaching, she'll get a chance to shake that one off. But a good sight for the Hurricanes to see Noelle Simmons walking off. So she will come off.
Substitution for Miami. Coming on was number 11, Giselle Ackle.
And now in the match for the Hurricanes, number 11, Giselle Ackle. Giselle Ackle, sophomore midfielder from Germany, transferred from Flagler this season. She was named the Peach Belt Conference Freshman of the Year at Flagler. She scored 10 goals and recorded 6 assists for a very impressive 26 points, Kayla. So into the match now with just 6.5 to go. Ackle comes in, and she's going to have to make a contribution of her own.
And now Miami's bringing some more players into that attack. We talked a little bit about how they're only playing with 3 defenders when they're attacking, but even more so with Ackle attacking high, it gives them another visual with a dangerous player.
The next player up mentality for both of these teams. The depth, we talked about it on the Louisville side. Karen Ferguson-Days loves to talk about the depth that this team has, and she uses it to motivate her players. She always says, if you don't feel the next person on the bench kind of pushing you to do a little bit better, then your spot may not be safe in the lineup. Miami has it. Zerlinga had it. Ball's bouncing around. Gibson comes up with it. Davey tries to handle, leaves it for Jadoin. And now it's Lee, finds Jadoin. Jadoin gets it back for Lee.
Good give and go.
Lee with a ball sent in, looking for Swinarski, a hand on it from Bredick.
Really good save by Bredick there, just to touch it away. It's still in the 6, so someone making a different type of run than what Swinarski was could still find a way to get a goal, but in that case, that was all she needed to do to get it out of danger.
Replacing number 8,
Alarcon comes off for the Hurricanes. And on now, Amanda Peck. Freshman defender, 5'6", out of Foxborough, Massachusetts. And it was a really good play by Bredick on that ball sent in by Lee, just to get a hand on it, maybe distort the path of the ball. Swinarski may have been tracking it one way, and Bredick was able to redirect it another way.
And Bredick's had a good game so far.
Yes.
We know that there was a goal scored on her, but she's also made some saves and seems to be really telling the players what needs to be done from the back. She's communicating well. So it'll be interesting to see if Miami continues the way that they've been going, where Bredick plays the first half and Olofsson plays the second, or if they might consider keeping Bredick for the full game.
Looked like A.G. Gibson took some hard contact on that play. Amelia Swinarski over there to check on A.G. Gibson. Homegrown talent from Louisville, Kentucky. She gets up, takes a second, and just exhibiting the tendencies of this Louisville team. It's the reason why they have worked their way to a 9-2-0 record. Yes, they're so good on corners. They're so good on second chance opportunities. They're so good on passing. They are so tough. They're gritty. They exhibit tenacity.
And you mentioned earlier what Coach Ferguson Days talked about when it comes to having a deep squad. A.G. Gibson is a very, very talented player, but the benefit about being on the Louisville Cardinals right now is almost any other midfielder right now that's on the bench could sub in and still perform, and that makes someone who is as tough as A.G. Gibson probably even more motivated to want to stay on and keep working for her team.
Snyder gets it over for Sexton. 3.5 minutes to play. Louisville looking for their second. A ball shot in. Bredek is unable to handle, and a great rebound opportunity. Louisville takes advantage. It's Kiley Peat on the second chance opportunity like we've been talking about, Kayla. Louisville now leads it 2-0.
Incredible follow by Kiley Peat. 80 to 90% of the time, you're not going to see that ball because Bredek is going to hold it or another goalkeeper is going to hold it. In that case, Kiley Peat's efforts are rewarded. Just a nice pass in there. Great first shot by Lizzie Sexton. It's a difficult bouncing ball after Bredek touches it, and Kiley Peat does what an attacker should do, which is keep following the play, get the ball in the back of the net.
What a goal by Kiley Peat for this Louisville squad. Second goal of the season for her in the 42nd minute. Wow. Just the awareness to run up, and we were just talking about how good Louisville is on those second chance opportunities. She finds the smallest window to put that ball through, and she does it perfectly.
And we also talked about the maturity of this Louisville Cardinal squad with the seniors that have stayed together. But with that, there's a lot of exciting freshmen, including Kiley Peat, that are on this team that are not only doing the work that is also being asked of these seniors, but they're performing at a really high level. So the sky's the limit with some of these players.
And you got to give Bredek so much credit. You were just doing it before that goal happened. It's an unfortunate break there for Bredek. It's an excellent goal from Kiley Peat, but two things can be true, right? It's an excellent goal from the side of Louisville, but an unfortunate break for Bredek as she made a good save as a ball sent in there, testing Aaron Floyd. She erases it. But it's an excellent play by Peat, also just an unfortunate break for Bredek, who was unable to handle, and then a very small window. Peat was just able to find it.
And that's, you said unfortunate. Bredek has had a really good first half. Two situations that is unfortunate for a keeper. The first one really nothing could be done. More of a defensive conversation because Emersen Jennings was open and was able to power that past Bredek. The second one, you're a goalkeeper and you know that you're 9 times out of 10 never bobbling a ball like that because you are capable, you are a Division I athlete, you've played at a really high level. So I'm sure she's not going to forget that, but hopefully she can just continue with this confidence that she's giving her players and the communication and just showing up for them for at least the rest of the half.
.90 seconds left here in the first half. Louisville finds their second of the evening. Good slide tackle there by Miami's Amanda Peck, erasing the momentum.
And sometimes it just takes a small thing like that for your team to turn it around or want to give a little bit more effort. Great tackle by Peck.
Yeah, maybe trying to light a fire under her team. They find themselves down 2-0 now. Final minute of the first half here from Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn. Louisville leads at 2-0. Takeaway. It's Serlinga. Here comes Miami. 45 seconds. They have an opportunity. Mellenhorst. Ball sent in. Just out of the reach. Looked like she wanted Maura Flynn.
That was a really good play by Miami, and that just is kind of a glimpse, like we said earlier with some of these others. They can create, they can score, they can also be dangerous as well. So Mellenhorst there with a great cross, chipped a little too high for Flynn, but even still, if they can get more of those, we talked about it, volume makes a difference.
And not only is Erin Floyd facilitating right there, Kayla, but she's doing the veteran move of letting these last seconds tick off the clock. 5 seconds left. That's going to do it for the first half. 2 seconds and 1. And we are at halftime. Kiley Peat in the 42nd minute, finding the back of the net on a rebound. A couple of situations that just didn't go her way, but now it is up to Olofsson to keep this Louisville offense quiet as the second half is underway. Louisville leads at 2-0. We'll see what the next 45 minutes have in store.
And this is a bit unique, where you don't see it that often in college athletics, college soccer, that the goalkeepers split time. So it just goes to show that Miami views both of these players as top-notch goalkeepers that are deserving of 45 minutes. And it'll be interesting to see how Olofsson maybe talks to her players or coaches them a little bit differently.
And still between the goalposts for Louisville, receiving that pass right there from Huckabee, it's Erin Floyd, who has a save tonight. Miami has 2 shots, 1 on goal. Louisville was 6 and 4 on goal. Good takeaway there by Gigley for the moment. Miami stays with it. Now Miami could get a goal back, but it's shot right at Erin Floyd off the boot of Noelle Simmons.
And Simmons just there giving chase, getting a shot off. That shows that the Hurricanes are going to have a little bit more pressure. Also called a little bit offsides. Assuming that Carson Cherry and Hadley Snyder have been having discussions about that. They were aware that that shot was going to get called offsides. But even still, dangerous attack already to start for Miami.
And it was Agul, Giselle Agul for Miami, getting that ball through for Simmons. A good sign for Miami, creating something with not even 2 minutes gone yet in the second half. They're gonna ramp it up, Kayla. They understand the score. They understand what's at stake, as you at home just saw it. So look for that intensity to ramp up from the Hurricanes, and when that happens, you'd expect the Cardinals to ramp it up as well. Ball sent away. Simmons comes up with it. Simmons looking a little too much on that one.
And the attack looks a little bit more consistent with Miami already. Simmons and Eckel all both up in the attack. Rather than just having one striker, it looks like they're having 2 forwards to try and split Snyder and Cherry, which is going to be helpful for them in this attack. You've seen already Simmons had some time on the ball because the defenders are having to watch for another Miami player.
Huckabee makes a move. Dribbling in a careless giveaway in the Louisville end. It could spell disaster for Louisville. Floyd comes out, and Miami with a great opportunity, but a good play by the Louisville defense to back up their keeper. It was Ella Bard saving the goal. Miami had an excellent opportunity, as you'll see right here. Huckabee with a giveaway that just can't happen, Kayla.
And Mellenhurst is so smart to stay on sides. She shortens her run a little bit to try and make that work, and it does, just to get a touch around Floyd. But even still, although it didn't end up being a goal, really good attack, and just kind of shows again what they can do.
Well, the intensity has certainly ramped up for Miami. They have put together already in less than 5 minutes multiple attacks that could have resulted in goals. Louisville has been unable to find possession, like we said, very early in the second half, but you have to take note, and a big collision there between Floyd and Noelle Simmons again, taking some hard contact. Floyd was coming out to make the save.
Really good play by Simmons there. Keep going on the run, try to create something. She got a touch on it, and that's why it's likely going to be a PK. Because she got that touch around Floyd and Floyd just got body, then it's a PK rather than maybe neither of them getting the ball.
The officials want to make sure they got it correctly, so they will go to review. Floyd came out bravely trying to make that play, collided with Simmons. was pleading her case to the official, and now it's Lizzie Sexton breaking down her team in the huddle. What could that conversation sound like, Kayla?
As we've seen already early on, it seems like this conversation is going to be maybe take a breather, maybe understand that we can still have possession, we can still make attacking chances, and just kind of level setting where they need to be in the second half. It's certainly something that Miami is going to take as an advantage, but for Louisville, this first half has looked markedly different than the second, and it's going to be something they need to maybe change.
And you see it again right there. Floyd coming out. Simmons making run. Was Simmons onside? Looked like she was onside. Contact there with Floyd. And should it result in a PK, those are so difficult to defend for any keeper. So it could be an opportunity for Miami to get back in this one.
This is certainly a confidence builder for Miami. Noelle Simmons does really good to get that touch down. That's why Floyd ended up just hitting her body, because Floyd thought the ball was still going to be bouncing. Noelle's touch allowed this to likely be a PK. I don't see how the refs are going to call it anything other than that, but they don't pay me to ref. But I think at the end of the day, this is a confidence builder for Miami. We just said Louisville's second half has looked very different than the first. Miami here, 5 minutes in, potentially is going to get the PK.
Officials talking it over with the coaches. Louisville players looking on in their huddle, taking advantage of this stoppage, trying to talk things over, trying to get coordinated. Miami doing the same thing as the officials explain to Karen Ferguson-Days on the Louisville side. We'll see what they come up with. It will be a PK for the Hurricanes. And with just 4 minutes gone by in this second half, this could be a big one for the Hurricanes. Penalties this season, Aaron Floyd 0 for 3. So difficult for a keeper to stop these. It'll be Emily Simpson, junior midfielder out of Cambridge, England, for the PK, trying to get one back for her team. This is crucial. Simpson versus Floyd. Simpson, the strike, and Floyd with a miraculous save. Trying to dive on it, trying to gather it. Louisville trying to get it out. Aaron Floyd with arguably the save of the night. Miami stays on the attack. Louisville trying to get it out. Ball sent in, blocked by Louisville. What a response from the Cardinals, Kayla.
Really good save by Aaron Floyd. That's going to be, on the other side, a confidence booster for Louisville. Great diving save. Simpson's likely going to want to have hit that a little bit harder or a little bit wider. It's always easier said after the fact, but definitely something for Louisville to turn around and start thinking forward about how can this momentum propel them into the attack.
And you see the pop right there. Louisville has not allowed a goal at home since their matchup versus Wright State all the way back on August 24th. And Aaron Floyd, boy, we can't say enough about that save right there. It stays a 2-0 game. It saves the potential clean sheet. And we move on. It stays 2-0. What a save by Floyd.
And we mentioned that some of the earlier games this season, Floyd might not have been called upon often, whether it to be make saves or even to just get on the ball in any way. So for her to be called on in this game after maybe having only one shot on goal from Miami in the first half and being able to save that is really stellar and mature play.
Louisville goes long, and we get a stoppage after a little bit of contact. Aaron Floyd there looking on. Be a free kick for the Cardinals after a little bit of contact. It was Emersen Jennings who went down. It'll be Huckabee now for the free kick. Foul was on Emily Simpson. Louisville getting into formation. Miami trying to defend. And you know they wanted that penalty kick so bad, Kayla. Could have made it a 2-1 game Now Louisville with a chance to make it 3-0. Huckabee sends it in, looking for Cherry, just a little bit out of her reach.
An interesting styled free kick there. You could see 4 of the Louisville Cardinals playing offsides until the last minute so that they can try and change or affect the Miami Hurricanes, and almost had a chance.
Ball sent in. Miami looking for another attack. Louisville gets it out for the time being. Miami sticking with it. Anaba in the match now for the Miami Hurricanes.
Good pressure there by Simmons. Both Simmons and Eckel coming in that first half and arguably being game changers in that moment. Now coming into the second half and continuing that, really helping to push the pace for Miami.
Morello with the ball sent in. Easy scoop up there for Floyd, who has to be feeling great after keeping that penalty kick out.
She's going to want to rewatch that film and try and figure out what exactly went down. Arguably just a great save, or great touch by Simmons. But at the end of the day, if you are a keeper, you want to be someone who is strong in your 18, who's willing to fight for a ball, willing to come out and try and make sure that the ball is nowhere near your goal, which is all things that Erin Floyd did in that moment, and allows, while still it ends up being a PK, allows her to know that she can save future shots and future PKs because of just the personality and attitude that she plays with.
Sexton battling. Anaba playing hard defense. Shot that just goes left of the goalpost. Miami doing a good job of making it easy so far on Olofsson. She hasn't had too much action down at her side of the pitch. Almost 10 minutes gone by. We'll see if Louisville can start to make it difficult on Olofsson, the new keeper in the match for the Hurricanes. And here comes Louisville, maybe an opportunity to make things difficult. It's Taylor Morris carrying. Good passing by Louisville to keep the possession alive. Maddox gets it down for Morris, who makes a good turn. A good fake to create some space, and a ball sent in. It's just a little too far, looking for Liza Sudam. And Lizzie Sexton going to work now. This is Grace Maddox looking for a through ball. Morris trying to win the race to the ball. Good slide tackle there by Anaba.
Really good play by the Cardinals just there to be able to keep the ball, connect it, move it quickly. You could see some of the players like diving to try and keep it in or keep it close to them. If you are doing that, it means that you really want to keep the ball, and being 2-0 up is just positive play.
Anaba had it. Geigley forcing her to pass. It was Kay. Now gets it to Morella, who gets it back to Olofsson. Geigley applying high pressure, as is Jennings. That ball sent out of bounds. It'll go back to Louisville for a throw-in.
And that was early views of what it could look like in possession. They were able to play with their midfield, play back, play to Olofsson in goal, and just unfortunate choice in that sense to play it too long rather than maybe even just keeping it connected to her center backs.
You saw some Miami players maybe making a call of their own. Sexton on the throw-in, looking for Sudam. Throws it into a little bit of traffic. Ends up now with Sexton. Ball sent in, looking for maybe Geigley or Morris. Olofsson gets it away. Kay comes up with it, trying to make run past the Louisville players, and there she goes. A.G. Gibson right on her hip, making it difficult, and some contact there results in a foul. Good job by Kay.
Really good play by Kay. There are moments where she's been in this match and in previous matches where her engine shows what type of player she can be. And in that situation, that was an example of what maybe more she can do. If she can get on the ball more, how she can dribble out of space and attack into Louisville's half.
Olafson sends it in. Nobody home for Miami. They maintain possession. Kay with it now. Going to work against Morris. Mellenhorst. Anaba. Good defense there by Emersen Jennings, living up to the reputation of a pest, making it so difficult for the other team's offense. Ball sent in by Miami, looking for an opportunity. Headed away by Louisville's Grace Maddox, looking for the clear ball. Mellenhorst with a turn and a shot, but it gets deflected and out of play.
Good chance there by Miami. It might not have been the final shot of Mellenhorst's dreams, but even still, again, a good example of keeping the ball, keeping it connected. Got across from one side, was able to do something with it, keep the ball, get another shot off. It's good play. They're being pests of their own in this situation.
And if it wasn't for that redirection there, could have been trouble for Aaron Floyd, but nonetheless, nothing comes of it. Miami, opportunity, ball bounces in front of the box. Doesn't seem to catch anyone's foot, but weaved its way through more than a couple of players there, Kayla. That could have been interesting.
Masur had his hands on his head, wondering how that ball went from one side of the field basically all the way to the other without a Louisville player touching it, and with just a Miami player touching it. More of a dangerous opportunity than maybe it looked.
Miami has been knocking on the door of Louisville more times than once in this half. They have been putting together some very solid attacks, some quality chances. You know, they're just looking to convert on now 2 of them.
This has been a better second half for sure for Miami already. You can see the types of plays that they're creating, making sure that they attack with multiple people rather than maybe just one, and finding the ball in and around Louisville's 18. That's where you need the ball to be if you're going to try and score some goals. So positive movement or growth from the first half to the second half.
Some contact there. A.G. Gibson goes down and holds her leg right in front of her own bench. You'll see the play right here. Gibson now up to her feet, but goes back down. And in a good deal of pain, the sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky. And limps off with the help of the trainer. To an applause from this crowd and her teammates. Kiley Peat will come on. We hope A.G. Gibson is okay, getting tended to on the sideline by the training staff.
In a hard situation, her, another Louisville player, and then a Miami player all kind of jostling for that situation, or that ball. She looked like in that situation she got the body on her calf rather than maybe ended up getting the ball, which is just a tough place to be in when you're trying to defend and win the ball.
Caroline Hood re-enters the match now for Miami.
Simmons and Ackle did really well in this first part of the second half. Created some different looks for Miami. Really good subs.
And now for A.G. Gibson is the 42nd minute goal scorer, and Kiley Peat back on for the Cardinals. Floyd with a booming kick into the midfield. Back up now into the Louisville defensive third. Bard gets it back now for Floyd. Floyd has Cherry. Getting pressed now by Severns. And Severns forces Floyd to send it long.
And we didn't talk about it much in the first half, but Severns did a lot of work as the sole attacker, trying to defend both Snyder and Cherry, trying to force them one way, but it was really hard when you're just the one defender up there, and they're able to still break through. So it'll be interesting to see how Severns now, with another attacker, in Caroline Hood, can create something.
Some contact there. Play resumes. Here's Bree Severns initiating some contact with Grace Maddox before putting a shot on net, forcing Floyd to make an easy save. Takeaway there by Miami. So 15 minutes gone by here in the second half. Physicality seems to have ramped up a little bit here, but Kayla, what have you noticed through the first 15 and a half minutes of the second half?
We always talk about soccer being like an ocean. There's tons of waves. Sometimes you are on a high, you've reached the peak, and you're scoring 2 goals in the first half. And then sometimes you start the second half a little bit slow, and your teammate gets a yellow card and a PK, and you have to figure out how to ride that wave. That's the ocean analogy. Have to ride the wave. So in this case, it's really been a tale of 2 games. I feel like the first half to the second half, you've seen moments where Miami has had breakthroughs and chances in this second half that we didn't necessarily see in the first half. But on the other side of it, it almost feels like Louisville is trying to ride this wave, get their own attack in there, trying to get out of this place of Miami more dominance maybe than in the first half. So definitely an interesting situation for both teams. Obviously, if you're Louisville, you want to score more goals and continue to build on your confidence, but you also want to do that safely. And there's moments in this game, especially like you alluded to with the physicality, that keeping possession and keeping it safe is maybe going to be paramount.
Jennings with it now. You saw Jennings make a little contact with Olofsson, was talking it over with the official. Ball sent up into the box. Olofsson there to kill it. Olofsson gets it away. A volley in the midfield. Been a while since the ball touched the ground. There it goes now. Booted away by Simpson. Anaba. Got it back for Peck. And now it's Morella. Gets it up into the midfield. Takeaway there by Louisville. It's Kiley Peat responsible for the second goal in this match, and now it's Mackenzie Gigley who drops it back off for Peat. 2 defenders gravitating towards Peat. Some contact there between Peat and O'Mahony. Ball sent in deep. Carson Cherry gets it away. Alarcon, running through the midfield. Left it there for O'Mahony, and Louisville trying to respond to the intensity of this Miami team. You can tell they've come out of the half hungry for a goal, hungry for this victory.
And they're attacking well, keeping possession, trying to create opportunities. That ball's a little bit too fast. Great 2v1 here, though, by Miami. Kay gets out of it with the ball. O'Mahony was still there to help defend against Peat. And those types of situations are what Miami can find success with. If they can go numbers up in those 2v1 scenarios and win the ball, they've already beat a player. So now the next step is to keep possession, move it forward. There were multiple passes chained together in that last play, which was a positive step for the Hurricanes.
Huckabee, Morris, and Gigley come off for Louisville. Swinarski is back into the match, and as is A.G. Gibson. So recovered after an apparent leg injury. Limped off with the help of the training staff not long ago. She is back in the match now, as is Nicole Jadoin for the Cardinals. So nothing short of encouraging for Cardinals fans, players, coaches to see A.G. Gibson back in the match. The toughness we've talked about of this team, they never quit.
And exciting to see Swinarski.
Opportunity giveaway there. Miami came up with a kind of a strange scenario. It seemed like Miami may not have been thinking offense there, but that one sails just a little bit high. That one may have caught us off guard a little bit, Kayla.
Severns had the opportunity to be right outside the 18 in a shot on goal. Not sure what exactly transpired into her getting the ball even in that moment, but to turn around and have to choose between shooting from that spot and not. She chose the shot, but went too high.
And a yellow card issued now on the side of Miami.
The yellow card presented to Miami's number 4, Sam Morella.
Sam Morella gets the yellow card. You'll see here the contact.
Morella offers a little too much arm in that play. It's proves that Jennings is a pest in that situation. If
Very
you're going
much
to
so.
receive something like that from a player, you've arguably been in some moments with them probably already this game, but also it shows there's a respect for Jennings because she's got to push her down in order to not let her bypass.
Louisville working. Jadoin got it for Peat. Peat gets it back now. Sexton. Little trickery on that pass, getting fancy with it. Finds Amelia Swinarski, who leaves it. A.G. Gibson falling to her knees in a shot as she's falling. Somewhat reminiscent of the goal we saw Amelia Swinarski create against Clemson.
Yeah, good attempt there by Gibson. Not too far wide, still makes Olofsson have to make a save. She got that from Swinarski, who I think didn't intend to play it to Gibson. Gibson's able to connect it through some teammates and still maintain the ball. Just goes to show these players are doing a lot of work to try and keep possession.
Creates a corner opportunity for Louisville. See if they can convert. Miami heads it away. And a clear ball for Miami. We talked about earlier this season, Kayla, the hybrid of a cross and a shot, and you called it the Schross. Maybe we could come up with a term for that shot by A.G. Gibson. It looked like something of a slide tackle shot. If you want to come up with maybe a term for that one. Yeah, we can sit on that one for a while as Jennings makes run now, looking for the third goal, puts it on net. Olofsson's there. He's getting her offense started quickly. Miami going long, looking for Severns, unable to connect. Here comes A.G. Gibson, has Nicole Jadoin making run, maybe trying to get behind the defense of Miami, but a big takeaway. Nicholson came up with it for Miami.
And that's a good double again by Unaba and Nicholson. When you can beat it in a 2v1, then you have the ball moving forward. That's how that happened. They beat A.G. Gibson with just 2 players, and now they receive the ball as a throw-in.
Goal back in the match now for Miami. She comes on for Severns. Jadoin trying to get her body between her defender and the ball. Maddox doing the same thing, but unable to keep it in, and it'll be a throw-in for Miami. Kay for the throw-in. Was looking for Hood. Anaba gets a foot up on that one. Jennings comes up with it. Here comes the speedster, the pest, and Jennings. A little too far on her dribble, and Miami's able to erase it. You know Jennings wanted to make more run out of that one, Kayla.
Good defense by Miami to stop her after she's beat 2 players. Jennings is ferocious, and that's important when you're an attacker. In that moment, she was 2v2, maybe even numbers down, 3v2, depending on how you looked at it. So ultimately, it makes sense that Miami was able to win that ball, but also goes to show that she's a type of player who, even in this moment, still 2-0 up, she's wanting more.
A quick whistle. It was Jadoin carrying for Louisville. And Carson Cherry walks over to the ball for a free kick for the Cardinals. Cherry gets it away. Jadoin trying to handle, unable to do so. Kiley Peat doing a good job there, getting her body between the ball and her defender. Allows her team to stay with possession. This is Gibson. back in the match after going down. And a takeaway by Miami, and this could create some opportunity for the Hurricanes. Louisville's all over it. Ball sitting in the open area. A.G. Gibson trying to get a pass off. Louisville trying to control possession, unable to do so, and Miami comes up with it now. It's Peck. Peck got it up for Greiner, who now has to deal with Lizzie Sexton. Greiner working with it again. Gets it over for Nicholson. Nicholson has Sudam on her.
And this is good possession. We haven't seen much of this yet. The next step is, can they keep possession?
Ball sent up. Here comes Nicole Jadoin. One player to beat. Can she create the space? Two players to beat. Miami all over that attack, and a great job by the defense to shut that one down.
Good run by Jadoin there.
Very
trying
good.
to be creative. Stills numbers down, so difficult situation to have to try and decide what you're going to do, if you're going to go against these players and try and dribble out of it, or maybe just a touch in for a shot. Even still creative of her and building confidence again. She's got the chance to make these runs, take some chances against players, shots on goal. That's really good that Louisville's still looking for it at this point in the game.
Sudam goes down. Morella comes up with it. Cherry slides in to distort the offense of Miami. Greiner sent it down. Cherry gets it back now to Floyd, and Floyd will clear it out. And Peck decides to play it instead of letting it roll out. Wants to keep the offense going here for her team. Just under 20 minutes to play, 19 minutes to play here at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. Floyd comes out, shuts that one down. It was Ackle who wanted to make something happen.
And Eckel maybe was looking for a similar situation. If she can poke the ball around Floyd and Floyd goes a little bit too long, maybe she could have gotten a PK in that situation, though. Floyd did exactly what she needed to do. Didn't necessarily hit Eckel, so no PK there, if I was a ref.
Corinna Peat in the match now for Louisville, as is Emma Kate Schroll. Number 26 there is Schroll. Corinna Peat comes in, number 10. Taylor Maxwell also in the match now for Jessica Kay. Schroll came in for Kiley Peat, and Corinna Peat came into the match for Liza Sudam. A.G. Gibson leaves it for Sexton. Sexton handling. Chip pass over for Jadoin. Good touch by Jadoin to handle. The Miami defense not giving Louisville much space. Recognizing that they have a 2-0 deficit to erase, and Jadoin commits to some contact there.
Serlinga does well, gets that touch around her, makes Jadoin basically play all body, get that foul.
And a look on Jadoin's face there, maybe, I don't know, maybe setting the tone for the last 17 minutes, maybe letting Miami know, maybe sending a message, hey, we're up 2-0 and there's 17 minutes left in the game, but we're not going to lay down and we're not going to give you anything. So Louisville wants to stay perfect at home. Another clean sheet would be great.
And again, that's the benefit of having so many talented players on the Louisville Cardinals roster, is someone that is a sub or isn't necessarily playing the full 90 can come in, give their all for the 10 to 15 minutes that they're playing, and create moments where they can prove that they're not going to sit down or lay down and let the opponent try and go against them easy.
Geigley comes back into the match now for Nicole Jadoin, and Noelle Simmons is back in for the Hurricanes. Long ball sent across the way. Peck is there for it. Going against Lizzie Sexton. Swinarski there to back her up. Ball sent into the box. Cherry heads it away. Sexton gets a foot on it. Sexton. Griner trying to distort Sexton's possession. Will stay with Louisville. .5 minutes to play here. Louisville up 2-0. Looking for that third ACC victory. Miami still seeking their first.
And it feels like the play has quieted down a bit. Good work there by Louisville to win that ball back from Nicholson. But neither team has really had maybe the perfect opportunity or in and around the goal since that first PK shot. Outside of A.G. Gibson's shot that went just a little bit wide. And it feels like, again, it's riding this wave, trying to create the chances when you can, but also acknowledging in 15 minutes, if you can keep possession, which Miami's doing a really good job of, but for Louisville, if they can keep possession, then the likelihood of the opponent scoring when they have the ball more is lower. So maybe it is some slower passes or connecting the ball a little bit, thinking a little bit more intentionally when you have the ball so that the play doesn't have to be super fast, but if you're keeping it, then they can't win it and score goals.
Zerlinga comes off into the match now is Ava O'Mahony. The throw in by O'Mahony. Anaba sends it across the way, finds Amanda Peck. Peck working up along the side, trying to beat Swinarski. Swinarski gets over there, and Peck is able to send it in, but not ideally, as Swinarski disrupted the play. And back into the match now for the Hurricanes. Sierra Alarcon. She tosses substitution to Sarah Griner. Griner comes off. Aaron Floyd sets a booted away. So as we approach the last 10 minutes, it seems as though both these teams, Geigley came into the match a couple minutes ago for Louisville. Alarcon back in now for Miami. Coaches going to their impact players, realizing that they're coming down to the final stretch of this match, and Louisville wants to hold on and Miami wants to come back.
And we've seen good moments by Alarcon. Arguably, the Hurricanes would want or will want to see more of her in the last 12 minutes. Even still, with Ackle and Simmons up top, they've been dangerous. They've created chances. That PK came from Simmons' attack. So you're right. It does look like Miami is approaching this with, we need to get a couple more goals.
Schroll. And then O'Mahony. Ball rolls out of bounds. Quick throw in for the Hurricanes. Was looking for Simmons, unable to connect. And that one goes out of bounds, and a little miscommunication now among these two teams. The referee signaling that it is Louisville ball. So Maddox will throw it in.
They'll take as much time as they're able to in this case. They're up 2-0, a little bit more comfort than a 1-0 lead, but still, time wasting is a strategy to use in a situation where you're winning.
O'Mahony for the throw in. Schroll comes up with it for Louisville. Gets it up to Swinarski. Has Jennings with her and Corinna Peat. A.G. Gibson also joining. And now Louisville slows it down. Sexton sends it all the way across, finds Grace Maddox. Maddox sends it up, finds A.G. Gibson, drops it back off for Maddox, who's looking for Corinna Peat. Miami takes it away. Miami slowing it down, but time is ticking. The clock is not Miami's friend right now.
Both teams are finding moments where they can be in possession a little bit longer, but they're hanging around the middle of the field. If they can get possession in the attack, especially Miami, who's down, then they'll be able to get some more chances in and around that goal. But right now, the possession's just being maintained around half, and if you lose it at half, then they can win it, and you don't get the chance to take the attack.
Well, in case you missed it, at the start of the second half, Erin Floyd with just a save that speaks for itself. That could have changed the entire outcome, the entire energy of this match. It was 2-0 when that PK took place. It is still 2-0, courtesy of Erin Floyd making just an incredible save, Kayla.
It'll be interesting to see if she gets Defensive Player of the Week. We've seen some ACC goalkeepers get that accolade, and maybe with a PK save, that'll put her in the conversation.
Well, she has been magnificent between the goalposts tonight. Prior to that PK taken by Miami's Emily Simpson, Erin Floyd was 0 for 3 on PKs this year. It's a very, very tough shot for a keeper to save. You're essentially guessing almost as a keeper. You know, you have to kind of read the hips of the opponent who's taking that shot, and Floyd did such a good job going left, going back right. 2 saves tonight, nothing allowed. So great stuff from Erin Floyd, the backbone of this team for Louisville.
The yellow card presented to Louisville's number 27, Emersen Jennings.
And Emersen Jennings called for the yellow. She has just taken exception to her role, maybe. The physicality that she brings to this team. I think this Louisville team loves it. They feed off of it. Jennings loves to do it, and right there, yes, she does get the yellow card, and maybe Coach Ferguson Days will have a little chat with her about being over-aggressive, but that is just characteristic of Emersen Jennings.
And that's the grit that the Louisville Cardinals are trying to play with. So we talked about it earlier with Jadoin making a similar tackle. Likely that's maybe why the referee decides to pull out the yellow card, because he's seen enough. But it just goes to show that this is a pattern, and these players are trying to play with that type of physicality to get the other team off their game a little bit. In a way, as long as you can be still safe, you can make the team, the opponents, have to change the way they play a little bit when you're too physical.
Simmons battling for possession. Maddox now with Ackle on her hip. Was giving chase. Got it away safely. A.G. Gibson now gets a foot in there. Great play there by A.G. Gibson, just to throw her foot into the mix any way possible. It stopped the pass from Miami and allowed Louisville to go long and get a clear and just kind of get a good reset.
A good play and a successful play. She does that. She put her foot in there, was kind of hoping to get any sort of touch, and it ended up getting right to her teammate, who was able to clear the ball. So it's always exciting when you can have a good play of just putting effort in, and then it's also a successful play.
Emersen Jennings, an excellent slide pass, maybe another hybrid word we have to come up with. We have a few of those to discuss, Kayla.
We have a list.
We have a couple we're going to go over after this one is over. Grace Maddox now with it for Louisville. 7.5 minutes to play here at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium.
In the last 20 minutes, maybe even longer, has been very much, we talked about it, middle of the field. Whether Louisville or whether Miami is keeping possession, neither have really been able to create that type of possession in and around the opponent's 18. It'll be interesting to see now, 7 minutes left, as these subs are coming on, what they can do to try and change that for their respective teams.
Simmons and Morella come off for Miami. Emersen Jennings gets a well-deserved break. A goal tonight for her. Recently just got the yellow card. In the match now for the Cardinals is Nicole Jadoin. Lexi Lerwick in the match now for the Miami Hurricanes. Tegan Mellenhorst in the match now for Sarah Greiner.
We've talked about Mellenhorst a lot today. Really big spark for Miami in that attacking midfield role. She's done well to keep possession and choose the right moments of when to go forward or when to play back. Really stellar play, and it'll be interesting to see how Miami continues to build off of the moments that were good that they've had in this game.
Floyd allowing Miami player to get close, letting them inch closer and closer and closer, and then eventually picking it up, killing the play. She got underneath that one. You could see the visible reaction on the face of Erin Floyd as that one just got away from her a little bit, and she was disappointed in herself.
And goalkeepers spend many times at training working on things like long balls and goal kicks and punts. So, of course, when you have a situation where you are supposed to be stellar at it, a punt, for example, no one's pressuring her. She knows that she wants to hit that in or exactly at the location that she planned to. So it makes sense as a goalkeeper to be in that position of frustration because you know you can do better.
Contact there between Jadoin and Mellenhorst. And you've seen Miami in the first half going long off of their keeper in Bredick, who played the first half. Now in net for Miami is Olafson. Here comes Kiley with a shot on Olafson, trying to still test the Miami keeper. 3 saves tonight for her, including that shot.
Good, powerful dribble there by Kiley, trying to get that shot off. When you're right outside the 18, it makes sense to try and take it, but she's going to want that one back.
Jadoin crosses into the box. Kiley there with another opportunity, but not in a position where she can get the kind of power on that ball. Just kind of had to get it away, and it was an easy save for Olafson. Typically, Kiley is sending whistlers through the boxes into the keeper, but couldn't do it there.
And again, we talked about volume. Kiley gets 2 shots really back to back. And so chances are this next one, if she gets another chance, she knows now what type of power she's going to need.
Jadoin getting shifty with it, an opportunity. The crossbar, bar down, stays out of the net, but oh, what a beautiful move by Jadoin. And a great opportunity for Louisville. It just doesn't find the back of the net. But there's nothing to take away from that sequence. It just didn't go the Cardinals' way.
Karina Peat not wanting to be outdone by her sister, wanting to have her own goal herself.
Some sibling competition there, maybe?
Yeah, really good finish, just a little too high. Crossbar takes that one back.
There's no greater competition than the one that is between siblings. I mean, when they're teammates, I can't imagine what practice looks like. But when siblings get to go against each other on the pitch or any sport for that matter, it's entertaining.
And there's 2 sets of siblings for
Yes.
Louisville, with the Mora sisters and the Peat sisters. So they have double the fun, I'm sure, when you're a spectator watching those 2 sisters compete at practice.
Peat handling now, Corinna Peat. Swinarski working up along the side. Ball goes out of bounds. So a throw in now for Swinarski. Correction, she tosses it to Sexton for the throw in. Swinarski working. Not much space to work with, trying to find more real estate, but she's running out of it as she keeps inching towards the corner, maybe forcing this Miami Hurricanes team to kick it out of bounds. Ball's still in bounds, and boy, the ball just staying in bounds there despite the amount of people in the area. Look back at this opportunity. Boy, it was beautiful. Louisville just couldn't put it away.
A touch, actually, that Olafson had to get it high. Really great goalkeeping there. Just because of that, it goes higher than planned and hits the crossbar.
Yeah, Olofsson did get a hand on that, and in real time it was near impossible to notice, but great replay there, courtesy of our phenomenal crew, showing us that Olofsson did get a hand on that ball. So hat off to Olofsson, who has come in the second half and has taken the wind out of Louisville's sails in terms of scoring, yet they still find themselves up 2-0. Time ticking away. Louisville on the cusp of a 9-0 record at home this season. And their third ACC victory would improve Louisville to 3-1-0 in conference play should this result hold. 90 seconds left.
And they only have 2 more home games after this. So the next question is, can Louisville be perfect at home this season? That will be an interesting challenge for them to take on. Now, after this win, they'll have 2 more tries to keep that perfect record.
1 minute remaining in the second half. 1 minute.
Those 2 home games will be against Virginia on October 18th and then SMU on October 30th. Louisville set to take a road trip at Notre Dame on October 3rd, at Wake Forest on October 9th, and at Boston College October 12th. So travel with your Louisville Cardinals on the road. Watch from home. 35 seconds left. This one all of about finished. Get a quick stoppage. 31 seconds to play. You see the upcoming schedule there for Louisville. Some tough opponents on the docket. 2 Notre Dame, 1 Virginia in there. They're going to have to bring their A-plus game, Kayla.
And they're riding with a little bit more confidence now, especially after this win, but just having a lot of success so far in the ACC. They're going to need that type of confidence when you're playing against those types of teams.
Looking ahead for Miami, they have SMU coming up at Florida State versus Syracuse. Ball sent into the box. Rolls away. 25 seconds left. An excellent victory here tonight for the Louisville Cardinals. They will remain perfect at home and improve to 9-0 here at Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. The Cardinals win at Lynn once again. Aaron Floyd boots it away. 4 seconds left, 3 seconds, 2 and 1. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Louisville does it again in the fashion of a clean sheet. The first 10-win season since 2019. Kayla, there's magic